Hey there. Welcome to Level Up Your Listening, the channel for anyone learning English and wondering, why do native speakers talk so fast? If you've ever sat there thinking, I studied this language, I passed the tests, I did the apps, so why can't I understand people when they talk like that? Then yep, you're in the right place. Let's be real. It's not just you. Every English learner at some point hits that wall. You're doing fine with your lessons. Your vocabulary's growing, your grammar's solid, and then suddenly you watch a movie or someone speaks to you on the street, and it's like you've never heard English before in your life. And look, I get it. It's frustrating. But here's the truth. It's not because you're bad at English. It's because the English that people speak in real life is a whole different beast for what you get in textbooks. What you learn in class is careful, slow, and clear. It's English with a seatbelt and training wheels. Real-life English? That's like riding a roller coaster with no brakes. People speak fast. They blend words together. They drop sounds. They use slang, idioms, and all kinds of weird shortcuts. Instead of saying, "What are you doing?" someone might say, "What you doing?" Or, "Did you eat yet?" becomes "Jeet yet?" It's fast, it's messy, and it's completely normal for them. For learners, it can feel like a different language. Now, here's the really unfair part. Nobody tells you this when you start learning. They hand you the grammar rules and the vocabulary lists, and they tell you, practice and you'll get better. But then you step into a real conversation, and everything you've learned feels like it just left the building. You're standing there, smiling and nodding, trying to catch just one familiar word while the rest flies by like a train. So let's take a deep breath together, because this is totally fixable. Understanding fast English isn't about having perfect grammar or knowing every word. It's about training your ear. That's it. It's like learning to hear music in a new key. At first, it's hard. You miss notes, you get confused. But with a little practice and the right strategies, you start picking things up. You start noticing patterns. You begin to predict what's coming next. And one day, you realize you're not translating anymore. You're just getting it. In this video, we're going to walk through how to make that happen. You'll learn exercises that actually work, not just listen more, but how to listen. You'll discover strategies that real language learners around the world use to make fast English easier to understand. And more importantly, you'll realize that this skill, this thing that seems so impossible, is absolutely within your reach. So stick around. It's gonna get good. In the next part, we'll dive into how to actually start training your listening the smart way. Not harder, just better. Whether you're at home, on your commute, or just chilling with your headphones, this is where the real progress starts. Part 2. How to train your ear. Simple daily listening exercises. So now that we know the problem, fast speech, connected sounds, weird. Contractions. The next question is, what can you actually do to improve? Like today, without moving to another country or signing up for an expensive course. Well, here's the good news. Training your listening doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent. You don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need magic headphones. You just need a few smart habits that actually train your ear to hear English the way it's really spoken. Let's start with something super simple. Just listen, every single day. But here's the key. Don't just listen to any English. Focus on the kind that native speakers actually use. That means podcasts, YouTube videos, Netflix series, TikToks, whatever fits your style. The point is to hear real people using real English in real conversations. It doesn't matter if you don't understand everything at first. That's actually the point. Your brain needs to get used to the rhythm, the flow, the sound of fast, natural English. And when you listen, don't stress about catching every single word. Start by listening for the feeling of the sentence. What's the mood? What's the general topic? Then maybe rewind and try to catch more details. Listen again and again. Repetition is magic. One of the best tricks? Choose short clips, like 10 to 30 seconds. Something from a show or an interview, or even a meme. Watch it once with subtitles, then watch it again without, then again with. It sounds boring, but honestly, it works. Over time, your brain starts noticing patterns. Oh, that sound always happens when they say, gonna. Or, wait, that deja thing means did you. You're not memorizing, you're internalizing. Another great tip: listen while reading. If you've got access to transcripts or subtitles, use them. Your brain connects the sounds with the spelling, which makes everything click faster. You'll start hearing words you didn't even know you were missing. It's like your brain finally goes, oh, so that's what they were saying all along. Now, let's be real. There will be moments when you feel totally lost. You'll hear something like, what do you want to do? And your brain will just freeze. That's okay. It's part of the process. It means you're stretching your listening muscle. And like any workout, that's exactly what makes it stronger. So here's your challenge. Pick one thing you can listen to every day this week. Just one. A podcast, a YouTube channel, a scene from your favorite show. Doesn't matter what. Just make it something you enjoy, because that's what will keep you coming back. In the next part, we'll take this a step further. It's not just about listening passively. You're going to learn how to train actively with powerful techniques like shadowing, chunking, and even dictation. These aren't just tricks. They're tools that will seriously level up your understanding. Part 3. Smart Strategies. Shadowing, dictation, and chunking. All right, so you've started listening every day. You're tuning in to real English. Maybe you've got your favorite series on repeat, or you're obsessed with a podcast where the hosts talk a little too fast. Perfect. That's step 1. But now, let's talk about how to make your listening active. Passive listening is helpful, but active listening? That's where the magic happens. That's when your brain really starts making connections. Your ears catch more details, and you stop needing subtitles as a crutch. So here are a few powerful strategies that language learners, especially the ones who get really good, swear by. First up, shadowing. If you've never tried shadowing before, it's simple and kind of fun. You listen to a short clip, maybe a few seconds long, and then you immediately repeat it out loud, trying to match the pronunciation, rhythm, and speed of the speaker. Yes, it feels weird at first. You might trip over words. You might sound like you're doing a bad impression. That's fine. That's part of the process. The point isn't perfection. It's training your mouth to move like a native speaker's, and your ears to recognize the flow of natural speech. Start with just 1 or 2 lines from a scene or an interview. Pause. Repeat. Again. Again. And one day, without realizing it, you'll say something and think, whoa, That actually sounded kind of fluent? Yep, that's shadowing doing its thing. Next, dictation. This one is old school, but still golden. You listen to a sentence or a short clip, and you try to write down exactly what you hear. No cheating with subtitles? Not yet. Just you and your ears? Then, once you've written it out, compare it to the actual transcript or subtitles. You'll start to notice what you're missing. Maybe you keep skipping little words like theo or to. Maybe contractions are tripping you up. Or maybe you're hearing something completely different from what's being said, which is super common. Dictation is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see all the small things your brain wasn't catching before. And over time, you'll miss less and less. Now let's talk about chunking. No, not throwing up. This kind of chunking means breaking sentences into small, natural chunks or phrases, the way native speakers actually say them. For example, instead of trying to process, I don't know what you're talking about. As one long sentence, your brain starts hearing it as, I don't know what you're talking about. These little groups of words are how we naturally speak, and understanding them in chunks helps you catch the rhythm and meaning faster. It's like your brain stops translating word by word and starts hearing ideas instead. You can practice chunking by watching short clips with subtitles and pausing to repeat the phrases in natural groups. Then try saying them out loud, almost like karaoke. This helps build that instinct for how real English flows. And look, I won't lie, all of this takes time. But it's time well spent. You don't need to spend hours. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day doing shadowing, dictation, or chunking will make a massive difference over a few weeks. The cool part is that you'll start noticing progress without even realizing it. One day you'll be watching a show and suddenly you'll hear the phrase you practiced last week. Or you'll catch something someone says in a conversation without needing to pause and translate. That's when you'll know it's working. In the next part, we're going to switch gears a little. Because let's be honest, even with great techniques, this stuff can get frustrating. So how do you stay motivated when things get tough? How do you turn frustration into fun? That's what we'll explore next. Part 4, Turning Frustration into Fun. How to stay motivated and improve every day. Okay, real talk for a second. Learning to understand fast English isn't always fun. Sometimes it feels like you're listening to the same thing over and over and still not getting it. Sometimes you feel stuck. Sometimes you want to just throw your headphones across the room and scream, why is this so hard? Totally normal. Learning a language is a roller coaster. There are days when everything clicks and you feel like a genius. And then there are days when someone says something like, do you want to grab something real quick? And your brain goes blank, like nothing, not even a guess. But here's something you need to hear, that frustration is actually progress in disguise. You're not failing, you're growing. And just like going to the gym or learning an instrument, it's not supposed to be easy every time. The challenge is part of the game. That's why mindset matters. If you go into listening practice expecting to understand everything right away, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you treat it like a puzzle, like a game where you're training your brain to notice new patterns, suddenly, even the hard parts feel kind of exciting. So, how do you stay motivated when the progress feels slow? Start by celebrating the small wins. Caught a word you didn't understand last week? That's a win. Recognized a phrase in a song without looking it up? Win. Understood a meme or a joke in English? Huge win. These moments add up. And if you're only measuring success by how fluent you sound or how fast you understand movies, you'll miss all the signs that you're actually getting better. Another tip? Make it fun. Seriously, don't just study boring materials because someone told you they're educational. Watch shows you enjoy. Follow creators you like. Listen to music that gets stuck in your head. The more you connect emotionally with what you're listening to, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. And consistency beats everything. Also, don't study alone if you don't have to. Find a community. Join a Discord group, follow English learning TikTokers or YouTubers, or comment on videos and practice your responses. Even if you're just watching and listening quietly, being part of a space where other people are learning can give you a boost on the hard days. And finally, be patient with yourself. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to get better. And better happens slowly but surely. The fact that you're even watching this video right now means you care. And that matters more than you think. So here's your reminder. This is a long-term game, and you're playing it right. Keep showing up. Keep listening. Keep practicing, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. In the final part of this video, I'll wrap things up with a quick recap and give you a few last tips to keep leveling up your listening every day. No pressure. No burnout. Just a smarter, more enjoyable way to keep going. Part 5. The long game, keep going, keep growing. So, you made it all the way here. And honestly, that already says a lot. If you've been nodding along, or maybe rewinding and replaying like a champ, then you're exactly the kind of learner this channel was made for. Let's take a second to zoom out and recap what we've covered. You learned that struggling to understand fast native English isn't a flaw. It's a normal part of the journey. You realized that real-life English sounds nothing like textbook English, and that's okay. You discovered that your ear needs time and training to catch the flow, rhythm, and reduced forms that native speakers throw around every day. You now have daily habits to help you tune in. Listening to real content you enjoy, using repetition, subtitles, and short clips. You've got strategies like shadowing, dictation, and chunking that actively build your ear, not just to hear, but to understand in real time. And maybe most importantly, you've heard this truth loud and clear. Frustration isn't failure. It's part of learning. The key is to keep going, with curiosity, with patience, and whenever possible, with a little bit of fun. Because honestly, this doesn't have to be a painful process. It can actually be one of the most rewarding parts of your English journey. When you start understanding full conversations, jokes, movies, interviews, not because you studied every word, but because your ear gets it. That feeling? It's amazing. It's freedom. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. Nobody is. The goal is progress, not perfection. Now, if you found even one part of this video helpful, here's a tiny ask. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you feel like sharing your listening story or struggle, drop a comment below. I read them, and hey, you might help someone else feel a little less lost. This channel exists for people like you, learners who are ready to level up, one small win at a time. So keep your headphones closed, your curiosity alive, and your English playing in the background. Because every time you listen, really listen, you're getting one step closer to fluency. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep leveling up your listening.